I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. We may have a unity government in place, but using the DAP boogeyman to scare Malays continues to be a political tactic used by some. However, DAP's allies have not stayed silent and are keeping a certain PAS leader in check.
Menteri Besar Muhammad Sanusi Noor has been slammed for claiming that local government development minister Nga Korming has a hidden agenda. Kedah Amanah Chief Ismail Saleh lambasted Sanusi for being shallow-minded and thinking maliciously. He also called the PAS leader a rabble-rouser in invoking racial sentiments to protect PAS's political interests. Ismail was referring to Sanusi's speech on Monday, where the latter alleged that Nga's biggest objective is to restore local government elections in the country by emulating Singapore's Housing and Development Board plans. In a speech during Grand Finale Expo Sikh Sejahtera, Sanusi claimed that certain cities will be dominated by a certain race and the local councillors would come from one single race who would then enact the bylaws. The Kedah PAS chief also claimed that DAP, through the Local Government Development Ministry, is implementing a new Silk Road agenda to China. In a statement responding to the claims, Ismail said Sanusi is trying to poison the minds of the Malays by saying the minister wants to bring local government elections from Singapore. Ismail said Nga just wants to imitate the neighboring country's housing development ideas. He added that everyone knows that the quality of public housing in Singapore through HDB is very high compared to Malaysia's.
Though Nga Korming has arguments on why local elections should be revived, it's not his #1 priority at the moment.
Local Government Development Minister Nga Korming said based on feedback, reviving local government elections is not a priority for the people at the moment. Therefore, he said his ministry is prioritizing the people's livelihood and everyday issues. He said this is despite knowing that the third vote after federal and state elections is part of the democratic process. Nga said though they understand that local government elections are a reflection of democracy, there are other priorities. He added that the most important thing for him now is to revive the economy. He said this when asked during an interview with the Chinese media recently whether he is planning to restore local council elections during his tenure as minister. He further explained that once the basic issues are improved, Pakatan Harapan could easily secure a victory. Malaysia suspended local government elections with the proclamation of emergency during the Indonesia-Malaysia confrontation in 1964, citing concerns of racial tension.
Umno and PAS continued their war of words over Hadi's remark, defending cash handouts during GE15 as charity. Now it's taken another twist, with more leaders joining the fray.
Umno and PAS continue to lock horns over the cash handouts to voters during GE15. However, the clash between the two parties today has taken a mental health twist. Umno's Nur Jazlan Mohamed struck a nerve when he diagnosed PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang as suffering from extreme political depression. However, PAS Youth Chief Ahmad Fadhli Shaari claimed it was Nur Jazlan who was suffering from a psychological disorder. Speaking to Harakah, Fadhli suggested Umno members collect funds to contribute to Nur Jazlan so he could undergo a mental examination. On the same note, Fadhli hoped that Nur Jazlan would be elected as Johor Umno chairperson. Fadhli said with Nur Jazlan in charge, it would make it easier for PAS to capture the state in future. Earlier, Nur Jazlan criticized Hadi for claiming that the cash handouts to voters in Terengganu before the last general election were charitable acts.
Muda's Syed Saddiq is in utter shock after cops decided to question his aid and not the culprits of a ruckus at a Muda campaign event last year.
Muda President Syed Saddiq Syed Abdurrahman has criticized the police for summoning 2 individuals who linked Umno youth to a ruckus at a Muda ceramah in October last year. In a statement, the Muar MP said he was utterly shocked with the police action. Syed Saddiq added that the police should be investigating the mastermind of the ruckus instead of hauling up people who tweeted about it. He also said there were repeated provocations during his campaigning, and attendees had also lodged police reports regarding disturbance of public order and damage to public property during the fundraising dinner in Muar. However, he claimed until today the matter is still under investigation. Said Sadiq was referring to the Muar police calling up Farhan Iqbal, who is his former communications head, as well as Bentong MP Yang Shafura Othman's aide, Nur Suhana Ishak, to have their statements recorded today. Suhana and Farhan will be giving their statements at the Sentul District Police Headquarters. The pair are being investigated under Section 500 of the Penal Code for criminal defamation, which carries up to 2 years in prison, a fine, or both, and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act.
Umno still has not decided Khairy's fate in the party, but political vultures have already begun to circle, hoping for a chance to recruit the former minister.
Perikatan Nasional and its component PAS are ready to accept Khairy Jamaluddin if he's kicked out of Umno. This is according to PAS Vice President Ahmad Samsuri Mokhtar. He said Khairy can choose to join any party of his liking within PN. Berita Harian quoted Ahmad Samsuri as saying that the PN leadership is always open to accepting anyone who shares a similar agenda for the rakyat. The Terengganu Menteri Besar said this after attending the Technology and the Future of Growth Seminar 2.0 in Kuala Terengganu today. He was asked whether PN would consider accepting the former Rembau MP should he be removed from Umno. Umno is set to hold its Supreme Council meeting tomorrow evening. There have been talks that the agenda during the meeting will include Khairy's fate in the party. Khairy has been a vocal critic of Umno President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. Khairy had also claimed that imported delegates were brought in during the last Umno General Assembly to support the no-contest motion for the party's top 2 positions. Elaborating, Ahmad Samsuri said that Khairy was an open-minded great leader who was capable of executing his given tasks perfectly.
Here's what we know about Anwar's budget 2023. Though it's not ready, the Prime Minister has assured that no one will be left behind.
Budget 2023, which will be presented again next month, will meet the needs of every class of people and community group. This is according to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, said the contents of Budget 2023 are still being fine-tuned. However, he assured that the government under his administration will not sideline any party. Speaking to reporters at the end of his 2-day visit to Brunei, Anwar said Budget 2023 is not ready yet. He explained this is because Sarawak and Sabah are also asking for allocations. Anwar also stressed that the M40 will not be marginalized. He said while the B40 is important, the government will also pay attention to the M40. Also present were Sarawak Premier Abang Johari Openg, Sabah Chief Minister Hajiji Noor, and Foreign Minister Zambri Abdul Kadir. Budget 2023 will be presented again in Parliament on February 24th. Anwar was previously reported as saying that Budget 2023 will not be bound by what was presented by the previous government.
The owners of Crack House Comedy Club will have their day in court later this year when their judicial review leave application is heard in May.
May 23rd has been set to hear a judicial review leave application by the 2 owners of Crack House Comedy Club to overturn the permanent ban against them from registering any business in the capital. The Comedy Club Owners Council Harshan Zamani today confirmed the hearing date involving the legal challenge at the Kuala Lumpur High Court. The duo also seeks to reinstate the comedy club's business license following a controversial stand-up routine last year. In the event that the court grants leave, it would later set a separate hearing date to hear submissions from parties' legal teams over the merits of the judicial review. In November last year, Crack House Comedy Club owners Muhammad Rizal Johan Van Gazel and Shankar R. Santiram had gone to the civil court over DBKL permanent ban against them. The woman who was alleged to be behind the controversial stand-up routine, Siti Nur Amira Abdullah, and her boyfriend, Alexander Navin Vijaya Chandran, are currently facing ongoing criminal court cases involving the performance.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.